Have you ever felt like life was testing you, again and again, just to see how much you could take before you finally gave up? Maybe you faced setbacks that made you feel powerless. Maybe you've questioned whether perseverance is even worth it. And maybe you've longed for that spark of hope telling you, don't give up. Here's the paradox. Buddhism, one of the world's oldest wisdom traditions, teaches that not giving up doesn't mean clinging stubbornly or grinding yourself into exhaustion. Instead, it's about cultivating an intelligent, joyful, and resilient form of effort, what Buddhists call virya. Let me tell you a story. A donkey once fell into a deep well. Its owner, thinking it was hopeless, began shoveling dirt to bury it alive. But with every scoop of dirt that fell, the donkey shook it off and stepped up. Step by step, it rose until it walked free. That's the power of perseverance, transforming burdens into stepping stones. This talk will take you on a journey from the Buddhist roots of perseverance through timeless parables and modern self-improvement strategies, all the way to practical tools you can apply in your own life. Because the truth is, the path of never giving up is less about brute force and more about awakening the heroic energy that already lives inside you. The Buddhist foundation of perseverance, virya. At the heart of Buddhist philosophy lies virya, a Pali and Sanskrit word often translated as energy, diligence, effort, or even heroic courage. But virya is not just physical exertion. It is the mental clarity, moral resilience, and joyful determination that drive us to cultivate the good and overcome the unwholesome. Buddhist texts describe virya as the root of all accomplishment, the inner engine that powers every step toward liberation. In Theravada Abhidharma, it's listed among 6 crucial mental factors. In Mahayana traditions, it's one of 11 virtues. One classic definition calls it the mind that is active, dedicated, unwavering, tireless, perfecting and actualizing what is wholesome. So perseverance in Buddhism isn't about stubbornly pushing forward blindly. It's about applying energy with wisdom, choosing what to persist in, why it matters, and how much effort to give. The 4 aspects of perseverance. Buddhism outlines 4 subtle dimensions: discernment, distinguishing wholesome from unwholesome actions. Instead of blindly working harder, we focus on what truly cultivates compassion, wisdom, and peace. Motivation, genuine desire fueled by compassion. Here, desire isn't negative. It's the wholesome longing to grow and free oneself from suffering. Consistency, effort that is steady and unwavering, not occasional bursts of energy, but daily devotion. Balance, the middle way, avoiding both laziness and burnout. Perseverance should be sustainable and even joyful. Think of it like training for a marathon. You don't sprint at the start and collapse halfway. You pace yourself, you find joy in each step, and you keep moving toward the finish line. Perseverance in harmony with faith, mindfulness, and concentration. Virya doesn't stand alone. It works hand in hand with faith, saddha, mindfulness, and concentration. Faith provides trust in the path, mindfulness keeps us attentive, and concentration anchors us. Perseverance, then, is the glue holding these practices together. Without it, no progress is possible. Most importantly, Buddhism reframes even desire, often seen as the root of suffering. The Buddha taught that wholesome desire, aimed at liberation, becomes a powerful ally. A practitioner who cultivates this kind of motivation will stick with the basics long enough to see real results. Right effort, samavayama, in the Eightfold Path. Virya is embodied in right effort, one of the Noble Eightfold Path's central pillars, preventing unwholesome states before they arise, abandoning unwholesome states that have arisen, cultivating wholesome states not yet developed, maintaining wholesome states already present. This isn't about harsh self-discipline, it's about steady, mindful engagement with life. The heroic energy of virya is what transforms ordinary struggles into opportunities for liberation. Obstacles as catalysts, the Buddhist view on adversity. Life isn't smooth sailing, but obstacles aren't just unfortunate, they're necessary fuel for growth. As Daisaku Ikeda once said, life is a ceaseless struggle against deadlock. To live is to battle challenges. Without hardships, life is shallow and dull. Think about lifting weights. Resistance builds muscle. Similarly, resistance in life builds wisdom, courage, and compassion. Challenges are not detours, they are the very path. Inner obstacles, the 3 hindrances and 4 devils. Buddhism classifies subtle inner blocks. Hindrances of worldly desires, greed, anger, ignorance. Hindrances of karma, past harmful actions. Hindrances of retribution, results of previous deeds. Then there are the four devils, bodily and mental limitations, overwhelming desires, untimely death, and the great tempter, the devil king of the sixth heaven, representing deep ignorance that seeks to keep us bound. Recognizing these is crucial. They often appear in disguise like doubt, distraction, or despair, and only mindfulness and faith reveal them. Outer obstacles, the three powerful enemies. The Lotus Sutra also warns of external opposition, arrogant lay people, corrupt monks, and false sages, those who scorn, attack, or betray practitioners. The common thread? Arrogance. The deeper wisdom here, inner ignorance often manifests externally through conflict. By transforming within, practitioners build the strength to face persecution outside. The role of faith and courage. Nichiren taught, the mighty sword of the Lotus Sutra must be wielded by a brave person in faith. Dalai Lama echoes, never give up, develop the heart, be compassionate, work for peace, and never give up. True defeat comes not from obstacles themselves, but from losing the will to keep striving. Faith transforms fear into courage and transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Timeless stories of perseverance. Buddhist wisdom often comes alive in parables, stories that embody truth better than doctrine alone. The donkey in the well, already mentioned, it teaches us to shake off burdens and rise. The monk and the novice. A young novice was destined to die, but extended his life by saving ants from drowning. Compassionate action transformed his karma. Perseverance in kindness changes destiny. The woman in the monk's steps. Asked how long to reach a destination, a woman delayed her answer until she saw the monk walk. Only by witnessing his persistence could she gauge the journey. Lesson: perseverance reveals itself over time. The Master's Rock. A student carried a heavy rock up and down a mountain repeatedly. At last, the master revealed, the true lesson wasn't the rock, but endurance itself. Process, not just outcome, is the teacher. The widow and her son, believing her kidnapped son dead, a widow clung to ashes. When her living son returned, she refused him. The Buddha commented, clinging blindly prevents us from embracing truth. Perseverance must be intelligent, not rigid. Each parable highlights the same principle. Perseverance is not brute stubbornness. It is wisdom in action, resilience with heart, and adaptability with grace. Modern echoes, perseverance and self-improvement today. Surprisingly, many modern self-help leaders echo Buddhist principles, whether they know it or not. Mel Robbins emphasizes consistency in small actions, mirroring right effort. Brendan Burchard urges resilience and long-term discipline. Tom Bilyeu reframes failure as growth, aligning with Buddhist views on obstacles. Teal Swan focuses on inner transformation as the foundation of lasting change. Dalai Lama adds the crucial dimension of compassion and universal responsibility. Even YouTube channels like Buddhism, Words of Wisdom, and Yongey Mingyur Rinpoche spread these timeless lessons to millions. The convergence is striking. Both Buddhist and secular voices stress consistency, resilience, reframing failure, and cultivating inner strength. The difference lies in motivation. Buddhism adds compassion and collective well-being as essential goals. Another unique Buddhist angle, perseverance should be joyful, not grim determination, but the satisfaction that comes from doing what is right and wholesome. This joy makes perseverance sustainable, preventing burnout and fueling growth. Practical applications, cultivating perseverance daily. So how do we apply this? Consider the framework: practice, patience, persevere, trust from Tiny Buddha. Practice, take small, steady steps, like improving stitches in knitting. Patience, embrace flaws without harsh self-criticism. Persevere, continue despite slow progress. Trust, believe in your inner capacity, even if results aren't visible yet. Practical tools include journaling, music therapy, and mindfulness exercises. Importantly, learn to recognize and overcome 3 types of laziness: procrastination, clinging to trivial pursuits, and discouragement. And remember, rest is part of perseverance. The middle way avoids both idleness and overexertion. Ultimately, perseverance is not linear but cyclical. Effort, reflection, adjustment, renewed effort. As Tom Bilyeu says, ask what else could I do better? This iterative loop is where resilience is forged, the path to liberation. For Buddhists, perseverance leads ultimately to nirvana, the end of suffering. But even outside of spiritual goals, it builds what we might call an indestructible happiness, a foundation of inner peace no challenge can shatter. The true reward is not only reaching the destination, but embracing the journey itself. Like the monk carrying rocks or the donkey rising step by step, we find meaning in the process. Perseverance becomes not just something we do, but something we are. So what does it really mean to never give up? Through the Buddhist lens, it means embodying virya, an unwavering, joyful, compassionate energy that transforms every obstacle into an opportunity. Life will hand us both inner demons and outer enemies, but with faith, courage, and wisdom, they become catalysts for our growth. The convergence of ancient Buddhist insights with modern self-improvement proves one timeless truth. Perseverance, when guided by wisdom, is universal, and it works. Now I invite you to reflect. What burden in your life could become your stepping stone? Where might perseverance, applied with wisdom, change your destiny? If this message resonates, share it with someone who needs encouragement today. Leave a comment with your own story of perseverance. And most of all, carry this with you. Never give up. Not blindly, but wisely. Not stubbornly, but joyfully. Because the path of perseverance isn't just about success. It's about freedom.